helped Liz.
I built this whole empire by myself. Nobody's coming to save you. That's what I used to always say.
You had bulimia, anorexia, severe depression.
Yeah. Now I had to deal with 19 years of abuse.
When did it all change?
When I was 4 months pregnant, I got cheated on. Loyalty is more important than love. I'm gonna stop being a victim.
The more I'm listening to you, the more I know how real it was.
You don't need to forgive everyone. And I don't believe everyone deserves your forgiveness either.
When I say your childhood, what is the first emotion that comes to mind?
My oldest brother, he was disabled because of the war.
You don't forgive him.
We used to pray that his plane would crash. If he was to die, then we were finally relieved of our suffering.
And I'm sorry that I'm reminding you of these things, but I'm trying to paint a picture of Liz to the people also.
Yeah.
So I knew this was going to be, the funny thing is we believe in timing, and we were supposed to meet for the first time last year, but for timing reasons of our life or fate, didn't happen. And we finally meet today. And I was doing the research and I was mind blown by what Liz has gone through in her life. And I knew I could not compromise questions. Like I can't remove, I wanted to keep all of the questions in my head. So I had a lot. And I wanted you to go with me through a journey to get to know Liz. So I hope you enjoyed it too.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Okay.
5 stars.
That's 10. That's 10. Okay. I'll take 10. So if you know Liz from before, I really hope, because she said she doesn't do a lot of long form. I hope you get to know her from different angles and her perspective on a lot of things. And if you don't know her, get to know her. I think you're going to get to know 3 hours of proper insight. And if you like her, support her love for women, for being a mother, and when she opens her brand. So I hope you enjoy it as much as I did.
Thank you. And also support him.
Thank you. Enjoy. Okay, let's go. Okay. Hi, Liz.
Hi.
We finally meet.
Yes.
Yeah, we never met in person. Funny.
No.
Okay, so we start with how are you really doing?
I'm doing good. Given the circumstances, I think I'm doing pretty good.
Are you covering or are you actually good inside?
I don't know. I feel like I'm like so numb at this point in my life where I just don't know anymore how I'm really feeling. I just like, I think so many things have happened in my life where I just had to survive and not really live. So like now again, I have a situation happening in my life that is so heartbreaking that I'm like, okay, it's survival mode again. And once I'm in survival mode, I just don't feel, I just keep going because I have no other choice.
Yeah, I guess it's in your wiring. And today for the audience, I'm just telling you from now, enjoy the ride because we have a whole journey to go through your 27 years, which is a very interesting and filled experience. So I wanted to go through it. I really looked at the research and I didn't go too deep because I want to listen to you. But yeah, everybody knows you as the wizard, Liz. But who is Liz when no one's around?
I think I'm a very positive person and I'm very funny. I mean, that's how my friends would describe me. And my friends, that's my sister. Because I don't really hang out with anyone else. So I think my sister would describe me as someone funny, lighthearted. I'm also very I feel like a strong person. and definitely a workaholic. I love working. Yeah. And I feel like I'm also like, I'm always there for people. Yeah. Yeah.
You said you don't have friends.
I don't really have friends, no. Growing up, like I wasn't allowed to have friends, and like I was in school, I had friends, but I wasn't allowed to hang out with them outside because my father was super controlling, like super religious, and basically me, my sister, we couldn't leave our house unless it was school or work. So I never was allowed to develop friendships outside of the house. But I was very lucky that I had a sister, which is literally my best friend, and yeah, that was really good. But other than that, all of my friendships just turned into online. Like I never really hang out with people other than my sister. Yeah.
So it's just something you got used to, that even when you moved out and had your own life, you still don't know how to make friends, or you don't want to make new friends?
I think right now I'm in a point of like, even with my career and everything, that I've been very betrayed, even with people that I used to be my friends, and I've been backstabbed a lot, that I'm very cautious now who I allow around me. And like even recently I found something out about like a guy that I used to be friends with, and I'm like, I don't understand how some people do what they do or why they would do it. But you know how they always say like, once you make it or once you become successful, your day ones, you should never forget them, or all these things. But I really feel like once you change or once you reach a certain level of success, a lot of people reveal who they really are. And that for me has been the most heartbreaking process, because I now understand why people say like, the more successful you get, the more lonelier you get. Like I get it, and I hate that.
They say people tell you you've changed when you stop being the way they want you to be.
Yeah, exactly. That's very true.
Yeah. But you know what, how I look at it, Liz, when I go through similar things, I'm like, thank God you showed me. Because I'd rather know than be that stupid idiot that everybody knows except me. I hate that idea. Like everybody's like, oh, he's taking advantage, or they're lying to me, or they're cheating, or whatever. And you're just like that. I don't want to be the naive guy. I want to know at least. It will hurt, but I know. And then I know where to put you, either out or in another box. I know. I prefer that. So when they
I
reveal,
agree.
It hurts, but it's better.
Yeah, very true. But it's a hard lesson to learn, I feel like. Yeah.
You've never had like one best friend other than your sister?
I had like in school.
Okay.
There was this girl, this Moroccan girl. I'm still friends with her. We always text. Her name is Nasira. And she never had friends either. And then I was like, well, let's be friends, you know? And yeah, she's a really nice girl. I appreciate her a lot.
What made your heart smile today?
I FaceTimed my baby.
Okay.
Yeah, I was very happy.
Okay, I'm happy that you're happy.
Oh, thank you.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
And important for your heart.
Yeah. Like I was, for 2 weeks, I had like no contact with my ex who has my child. And I didn't know anything about my child. So I was like I was really suffering, because my sister is like, she's trying to make me be strong. And she's like, just like, you know, he'll come around, like he'll give you your child or whatever, it will happen. Like, just stay strong. And then like 2 weeks go by and nothing happens, you know? And then I feel like, especially because I'm a mother, I can't. So like I reached out and we came to some sort of agreement that I at least can like FaceTime my child. That made me very happy. But I just don't understand the level of evil you have to be to take a child from their mother. If the mother is like genuinely like wants to be in a child's life and wants to be there, especially because it's an infant, you know, they need their mother, especially for the brain development and all these things. So yeah, I really, this year, I just learned that people are very evil. And I feel like growing up, I don't know why, because my dad was very sadistic and he was very evil, but somehow I was very naive about people. And maybe it's because I was always isolated, because I wasn't allowed to hang around other people, really. I wasn't allowed to date. So I didn't really know the extent of people. So I just assumed everyone has good in them, and I was really like walking around la la la, like just delusional, you know. And I think this just like, especially meeting my ex and like going through all of that and that betrayal, I realized like, wow, like there is actual real danger in this world, and people will portray themselves as someone that they're completely not. And they just don't care that if it hurts you, or they don't feel empathy that it hurts you. So then I was like, damn, I really need to watch out. But that also made me like more wise, because now I'm like, okay, so now I know at least, you know. So I think there was a blessing in that it really woke me up.
Yeah, the idea of good and evil is a tricky one, Liz, because I think there's a lot of good, but I think the evil sometimes trumps the good. Like one evil, it's like comments. If you get 49 good comments and one really bad one, your brain focuses on the bads. And the sad thing is, let's take a building. It takes you 2 years to build a building, right?
Yeah.
It takes you one moment to blow it up.
Yeah.
So the evil is very strong and quick.
Yeah.
And it can destroy so much.
Yeah.
Like to build, as friends, I can build me and you our trust for the next 2 years. And then I do one thing and you're like, fuck him.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe he did that.
Yeah.
He said that behind my back, or he did this. So it breaks.
Yeah.
And that's why I think sad. I feel sad about the evil. And I don't know if sometimes people are born with it. Maybe not. Maybe it's the childhood.
I think it can be like nurture, you know. That's why I'm like, even if I say like, for example, my ex is evil, I think it's more so he's also acting from a traumatized standpoint and what he knows from his childhood, because I really believe like you attract people on the same traumas that you have, for example, you know. No matter how much you try to heal them or whatever, like your nervous system will be comfortable with someone that has either been through the same things or is on that same vibration. So if you look at my ex, for example, when he was abandoned really like a child, like what he's doing now is what his parents did with him, like just like, I'm gonna take the child and whatever, all these things, you know. And in a way, I was also abandoned, but it was like my parents did stay together, even though they were abusive, like my dad was abusing my mom, they stayed together. So for me, I grew up like not getting the love and nurture that I needed from my parents, but they stayed together. So there's a sense of loyalty that I know, which isn't even good, because oftentimes people that see their parents argue or stay in abusive situations, they go into relationships and then they think like, okay, so I should also stay because my parents stay together. And that's what they see as like, this is love. You stay together no matter what. And then, for example, what he's doing is like his parents were like dating other people and like throwing the child around, like using it as a prop. And now he's doing the same thing, and he doesn't really know that, like any loyalty really, because he didn't see that with his parents. And so it's like, is this person really evil, or are they acting from their childhood? Because
and it can still be evil if they're acting out of their childhood.
Yeah, I mean, what he's doing is bad, but I always look at why are you doing that, you know? It doesn't mean that I have to accept it. It doesn't mean I have to justify your actions.
Correct.
But I always try to understand, like, where is this coming from, you know?
If you understand, Liz, it makes you feel better.
Yeah.
That's why we want to understand.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why ghosting sucks.
Yeah.
Because you don't understand.
Yeah, you go crazy.
But if you understand, even if they're like, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Even if it hurts, you understand.
And you can like close it off.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I have.
Yeah. They say, when people say that they're looking for happiness in a relationship, they're not really seeking happiness, they're seeking familiarity.
Yeah.
And that's where you attract what your nervous system is used to.
Yeah.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Abandonment, you know?
Yeah.
Unless you catch it and maybe work on it, I don't know. When I say your childhood, what is the first emotion that comes to mind?
I just feel betrayed. I feel like my childhood was taken from me. I feel like I never had one. That's what I feel like when I think of my childhood.
And we're going to go more into it, but I'll tell you a few things that I read. Is it true that your mom tried to escape on her wedding night?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. My mom was forced to marry my dad, which is crazy because like she really didn't want to marry him. She didn't want to marry anyone. And my mom was like, she's still a very beautiful woman, but like everyone knew her as a super beautiful woman, like in the city. And she was always like very high class. Like she didn't want to marry anyone. Like, and then my dad was from a poor village, not attractive. No one wanted him. And he was already married one time before. And my mom used to always say, I will never marry someone that had kids before or that was married before. And she used to always say that. And then my dad came around and everyone literally like said he did black magic on her. No way, like that he got her, you know? This is how much people couldn't believe it. And even on her wedding night, like there were other people that were trying to marry her. She was trying to escape to go that way, but like my aunt caught her and she was forced to marry my dad. And yeah, the misery began. Once she married him, he turned immediately abusive. And it was crazy because he was stalking her, obsessing over her, like he wouldn't leave her alone until he married her. And then it was like
Switch.
25 years of hell. Yeah.
How would you describe your childhood other than the betrayal feeling? Like if you had to throw it for me.
It's such a blur because I have so much trauma that a lot of things I do not remember. I remember flashes, like visions almost. And they're not good. I didn't have a childhood. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know. Like, I do know that I was like a happy kid still, or tried to be happy. But it's not like that I was like given the love that I wanted.
Not from mom too?
My mom was very like, I feel like I was a mother to my mother. So I feel like I was her parent, taking care of her and protecting her. You know, it's actually crazy. I do like hypnotherapy and all these things for my PTSD. And I was recently in a session with my therapist and I wanted to heal the relationship with my ex and why I feel so responsible for this person, even though they hurt me. And we literally went into hypnosis and I saw a vision where I was a little girl and I don't remember what age it was. I think like around 8 years old or something. And I was sleeping. And I remember at night, I suddenly heard like, Liz, like my mom yelling for me. So I woke up and I ran to the living room. And when I ran to the living room, like the lights were off and my mom was sitting on the floor and my dad was sitting in front of her. And she had been hit in the face. And I was like, and I looked at them and my dad looked at me. He's like, go back to your room, like go to sleep. And my mom was scared. And in that moment, my mom told me like, it's making me emotional. My mom told me like, don't go because she was scared. And in that moment, I decided like I went to sit next to her, even though I was scared myself. But I realized like in that moment, I decided like I took on the role of her protector. And ever since that moment, like it wasn't a childhood for me anymore. It was like, I'm responsible for my mother and I'm responsible for my siblings, for my whole family. I need to protect them. I need to protect them against my father. And my father really started to like hate me from a young age and resent me because I was always protecting my mom. And like, for example, he would try these manipulation tactics on my siblings, like, oh, I'm going to buy donuts for you guys or whatever. Like, so they would like him more, but it would never work on me because I could see through him. And I was like, no, I'm going to stick with my mom no matter what. And yeah, that was just my whole childhood, like giving her advice, protecting her, like physically protecting her. And then like, once I became older, my whole focus was I need to provide and I need to make money to help my mom and to help my siblings. Like, that's my role. So then I remember when I was 12 years old, for example, I went and I was like, I bought these waffles in supermarket and I was like, I have to decorate each waffle separately. And then I was going to sell them like door to door to people so that I could make money. And I was like, yeah, it's for a good cause. The good cause is me. So I was selling them, and I had made like a lot of money, you know, but I told like my parents I have like a nanny job or something. So then I was doing that job, and then once it was legal for me to work, which was like 15 turning 16, I did any job I could. Like literally I was always working because I didn't want my mom to have to provide for me, because she was already working a lot and my dad wasn't doing anything. So I didn't want to put like more pressure on her. So also my sister started working, like the women in the family were all working. And we were providing for ourselves. And then we were like, my dad would make us pay for groceries and everything. Like he was doing nothing. So yeah, it was a lot of responsibility at a young age.
Yeah, it makes sense that you didn't taste what childhood is supposed to be. And then also at some point you had to leave your homeland and emigrate, right?
Yeah, that was actually like that. I was 1 year old.
It was
early. Oh, that was before. Yeah.
So all of what you told me was after the move.
Yeah.
So you moved very early, so you don't remember your home.
No. My mom does remember the war. My dad does. My older brother does. Yeah.
Okay. You ready for the journey?
Yes.
The first time I do it this way, well,
Yes.
there was so much to your story, Liz, that I usually don't even, like, I'll use this just for like five questions that I'll quote you and I'll see what you have to say about your quote, right?
Yeah.
Or what somebody's saying. But this time, like, I need to make sure we go to this journey correctly.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah.
I've lived many lives.
Okay. So is it true that your mother was cleaning toilets for $10 a week and that was your family's only source of food?
Yes, that was like when we had just immigrated and we're at the immigration center refugee camp.
Okay.
And there you could like do a job where you clean toilets, and she would make like $10 a week for that. And yeah, that was the money that we had. Which another thing happened, which was even crazier, because my oldest brother, he was disabled because of like the war. And because of that, we got government support that they gave like to refugees, and it was around $10,000 to $15,000. But like that was huge amount of money, especially like back in the day. You
per
know?
month or per
No,
year?
that was like once you get that. I was like,
okay.
Because you need medical support and all these things. And basically my mom had found out that my dad had taken that money that was supposed to be for my brother, and he had sent it back home so his mom could build a house for herself after the war, like destroyed her house so she could build a house again. So my mom said like that was the first time that I looked at that man and I was like, I genuinely hate this person, and I'm never going to forgive him again. Because like we couldn't even afford food or basic necessities, and you have like 3 children by that time. And he just didn't care. He just sent it all, so we didn't have money.
Why do you think you said you're 5?
Yeah.
Why do you think your mom kept having children?
I think society and like how our culture is raised. I think it's like it's very normal, and it's like what her mother has done, and they didn't know any better. I mean, they also never had an example of any woman that does anything outside of the norm. So you're just going to do what everyone else is doing, you know? You create a family, the man tells you he wants a child, so you listen to the man, like he's abusing you, but you're still going to stay because that's all you have ever seen. And then it takes one person to break that cycle for it to never repeat again, because now you have an example of how things can be different.
صح. Is it true that your father would invite friends over to humiliate your mother because she wanted the job?
Yes. He would, so the first years, he wouldn't allow her to work. But we would get like government support, and he wouldn't give it to her either, or like she had to beg for like $5 to buy bread, you know? And he basically liked the control that he had. And then whenever she was like, look, I really need a job, like I need to provide for my children, he would basically call his friends like, look at this dumbass, she wants a job, like blah, blah, like he would just laugh at her.
It's quite twisted. Like, you don't have money. She wants to work and he doesn't allow her to work.
And I think he enjoyed seeing her suffer. And I think there is a lot of men, unfortunately, that enjoy seeing women suffer. It's not even about anything other than that. Like, they like that you're unhappy.
I think it's a very narcissistic trait and an egoistic trait.
Yeah.
You want the other person to be... Like, narcissists are masters at it. Slowly they control you. Or slowly they make you insecure. Like, I don't like... blue jeans don't look good on you, for example. And you're like, oh, really? It actually looks good, but now he wants you to be insecure about it because you're a good-looking person or whatever. And slowly, your ears and... And that's I'm talking about the subtle narcissist. There is more aggressive.
Yeah. I wonder, because I used to always think, like, okay, does my dad fit into the archetype? But he was way more sadistic than that. I think narcissism is like one way, but then you have like actual sociopaths and that don't feel any type of empathy at all. But like on the flip side, outside, he was very loved and everyone, very charming man, like, oh, religious man, like everyone thought he was amazing. So that does fit in with the narcissist. But I heard somewhere that like sociopaths can have narcissism too, but not all narcissists are sociopaths. Correct. So like...
Yeah, I think narcissism is a spectrum.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have it, especially with selfies today. I think selfies make you more narcissistic, especially somebody who like... their last 9 pictures on Instagram are all them alone. And I'm like, I know some people say, and that's no, you're judging. I think if it's always just you, I think there's a level of narcissism there. Yeah. Now, is it normal narcissism or unhealthy or healthy? I think we can argue that from what I've seen, I think humans have a spectrum of narcissism. Yeah. And at some point it becomes harmful to people. Yeah. Before that, maybe somebody's just in love with themselves or insecure.
I think that's a misconception about narcissism.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, I don't think they're in love with them. I think they're insecure.
Yeah, because that's a misconception. That because people think like, oh, people that are narcissistic are just in love with themselves or things like that, But actually, like, they're severely insecure individuals. And it is a mental illness. Like, they don't operate like how normal people operate. Like, they scheme and they plot things. And for example, how I've seen people that I mean, diagnosed narcissism I've seen is they'll think like, okay, today I'm going to act like a good partner. Today I'm going to act like a good father. That's how they think. But everything is an act.
Wow.
So nothing is really because they want to do it. And also how exhausting it is to live like that. You have to constantly just perform, Like, for example, I had this instance with this person and their grandma came to visit, for example. And when she came to visit, they were like, I want her, it's like their grandma, And then they're like, I want her to just take a hotel and not stay at my house. And I was like, are you insane? Like, let her stay at your house, at your grandma, And they were like, no, because then I have to constantly wear a mask. And I was like, damn, like, when can you ever be yourself? And when in your childhood did you learn that you have to perform for approval? Because that's what they're really doing. They don't think that they're good enough. They don't think that their authentic version will be accepted. So they will do anything so that they are liked. For example, if we look at my ex, the first year that we were together, that person didn't exist. He literally was everything I wanted in a man. Like, he was taking care of me. He was emotionally there for me. He, like, any time he wanted to spend with me, like, really like a love story, beautiful, But then I realized, like, this person just, because he was a fan of my content before, this person just studied me. And he mirrored every single thing that I was. So I fell in love with myself. But that was never him. And so after that, like, I realized when I was 4 months pregnant, I got cheated on. I was shocked because this person was like such a loyal person and never wanted to leave my side and blah, blah. So when I found that out, I have never been so shocked in my life about something. Like, it was a wake up, like, oh my God. And then I just realized, like, this person that I thought that